Hi guys. We're looking for ambitious, smart, and motivated people that want to provide for themselves and families a better living standard. If you're this person, looking for a fresh start, you can do just that, make a lot of money, learning an interesting industry, deal with real business people and grow as an individual yourself. Even if this opportunity doesn't keep you engaged enough, we hope what you learn with us will make you more successful in the future. You're really in control of your own destiny. We think of every new hire, internally or externally, as an extension of our core group. You're important and valued, and there's no limit to your upward mobility either. We live in a digital world where we can work and collaborate across the world together. If you do well for the company will take care of you. Alright, I'll tell you what your job description is. You will work remotely, from home office as a lead generator, and will utilize a soft phone on your computer to call business owners throughout the United States as dispensed by our homebrew CRM system. You'll speak directly to the business owner. With a simple pitch, your goal is to pique the interest of U.S. business owners in relation to our products and connect these merchants to a senior representative. Every time you connect someone who is qualified for our products and they have an immediate need, you get paid. And if these transferred merchants successfully apply with us, you'll earn additional compensation. By apply, I mean the senior rep confirms the merchant is qualified for our programs and have an immediate need, and these merchants send us the necessary documentation to apply. We call these packages complete submission leads, or CSL for short. In essence, now we've converted a lead to an actual deal. Every time this happens, you'll earn an additional $10 USD for these submissions. With a single client, there is opportunity to earn 3 separate commissions for a total of $80 USD just for making a great transfer call. That's all you need to contribute to the transaction, and you'll have complete transparency in this process. We also have competitions and contests going on all the time that reward the most successful LG. Okay, let's move forward. Why you will choose to work with us? We pay really well. Our legal name is ABC IETA, and we're a division of a major US-based small business lender. We're very stable with thousands of active customers and hundreds of employees. We encourage a casual, clean, friendly environment, no discrimination, no favoritism, and we're happy to pay out large commissions. We'll also give you the tools and support you need to succeed. Most importantly, we pay on time and every time. We pay you weekly or in full. Upward mobility. Your mobility within our organization depends on production. You're starting off with us as a lead generator, or as we call it, an LG. Want to move up to a lead gen supervisor? No problem. Show us with your productivity why you deserve additional compensation and more responsibility. We have a pro-employee mentality. We want to take care of our people, promote from within, encourage a healthy lifestyle. An interesting fact: the company will pay you to be healthy. The company will pay you to learn more, the company will pay you to be more successful. But it takes a lot of hard work, day in and day out. Here's a short clip that helps summarize our sales mentality.
Sorry, man. That's my mistake.
Shit, I'm so sorry.
It's okay. Don't worry about it.
Fucking dumbass.
Get the fuck out of here.
What?
Don't talk to me. Don't look at me. Just pick your ass up out of that Italian leather chair and get the fuck out of this room right now. Come on, let's go, Schleprock. Out. That's it. We expect everyone here to treat their coworkers with a certain level of respect. Okay, before we get started, I have one question. Has anyone here passed the Series 7 exam?
I have a Series 7 license.
Good for you. You can get out too.
What? Why?
We don't hire brokers here. We train new ones. That's it, Skippy. Pack your shit. Let's go. Okay. Here's the deal. I'm not here to waste your time, okay? I certainly hope you're not here to waste mine. So I'm going to keep this short. Become an employee of this firm, you will make your first million within 3 years. Okay? I'm going to repeat that. You will make $1 million within 3 years of your first day of employment at JT Marlin. There is no question as to whether or not you'll become a millionaire working here. The only question is how many times over. You think I'm joking? I am not joking. I am a millionaire. It's a weird thing to hear, right? I tell you, it's a weird thing to say. I am a fucking millionaire. I guess how old I am. 27. You know what that makes me here? A fucking senior citizen. This firm is entirely comprised of people your age, not mine. Lucky for me, I happen to be very fucking good at my job, or I'd be out of one. You guys are the new blood. You're gonna go home with the Kesef. You are the future big swinging dicks of this firm. Now, y'all look money hungry, and that's good. Anybody tells you money's the root of all evil doesn't fucking have any. They say money can't buy happiness. Look at the fucking smile on my face. Ear to ear, baby. You want details? Fine. I drive a Ferrari, 355 Cabriolet. What's up? I have a ridiculous house in the South Fork. I have every toy you can possibly imagine. And best of all, kids, I am liquid. So, now you know what's possible. Let me tell you what's required. You are required to work your fucking ass off at this firm. We want winners here, not pikers. A piker walks at the bell. Piker asks how much vacation time you get in the first year. Vacation time? People come and work at this firm for one reason, to become filthy rich. That's it. We're not here to make friends. We're not saving the fucking manatees here, guys. You want vacation time? Go teach third grade public school. Okay. First 3 months at the firm are as a trainee. You make $150 a week. After you're done training, you take the Series 7. You pass that, you become a junior broker, and you're opening accounts for your team leader. You open 40 accounts, you start working for yourself. Sky's the limit. A word or two about being a trainee, your friends, your parents, the other brokers, whoever, they're going to give you shit about it. It's true. $150 a week, not a lot of money, but pay them no mind. You need to learn this business, and this is the time to do it. Once you pass the test, none of that's going to matter. Your friends are shit. They tell me you made 25 grand last month, they're not going to fucking believe you. Fuck them. Fuck them. Parents don't like the life you lead? Fuck you, Mom and Dad. See how it feels when you're making their fucking Lexus payments. Now go home and think about it. Think about whether or not this is really for you. If you decide it isn't, listen, it's nothing to be embarrassed about. It's not for everyone. Thanks. But if you really want this, you call me on Monday, and we'll talk. Just don't waste my fucking time. Okay, that's it.
We hope our mentality is clear now. Okay, let's understand what do we do? We give business loans to small and mid-size businesses only in USA. We give out essentially two types of loans, working capital or business loan. What's great about our working capital programs? We're fast. We'll deposit funds into their business bank account. These loans typically have a term length of 3 months to 24 months, and merchants pay back on the loans automatically from their business bank account or their credit card transactions, either daily or weekly. We ask for the following documentation to get an approval: an application, the most recent 6 months business bank statements, and their most recent business tax return. Working capital is also called an unsecured loan, meaning there is no collateral tied to the funds they are borrowing. Generally, the only guarantee we have is their signature promising to pay back. It's also a huge risk not to have something of theirs to hold on to, like the deed to their house. The reality is not everyone ends up paying back their loan. And because of this, the nature of the product means it's not cheap money. Working capital doesn't compete with a 5% bank line of credit, but then again, most U.S. customers don't qualify for lines of credit from their local bank, and they need access to capital to grow. What can impact approval if they have existing loans, poor cash flow, very few monthly deposits, very poor personal or business credit history? What else do you need to know about working capital? As a business-to-business loan, we can typically extend a loan amount slightly more than their total monthly sales volume. If someone generates $20,000 in sales a month, we should be able to approve them for slightly more than $20,000, again. The other product you should understand is called equipment financing. Here is an example of equipment financing. Company XZY is in the freight transportation industry and the company is owned 100% by Jerry. Jerry has trucks and drivers working for him, but he has an opportunity to expand and take on 5 new transportation routes for Walmart. This is great news for Jerry. 5 more routes would mean nearly doubling his sales. Here's the bad news, each new truck costs $100,000, or $50,000 used. He'd also need money to hire 5 new drivers and of course he'd need additional capital for fuel and insurance costs. Here's the problem, Jerry only has $120,000 on hand. At most he can purchase 1 truck new or 2 trucks used, but there's 5 routes. We help merchants get the equipment they need with minimum upfront costs, allowing the equipment to generating money for the company as well as cover its operating costs. We can generally extend an equipment loan for 2 to 5 years where the merchant's monthly payment for the equipment is generally substantially less than the revenue they can make because of the equipment. What else do you need to know about equipment financing? Most businesses may not call it equipment financing though. Regardless of what they call it, we want to inquire with merchants to see if they have any needs for equipment to grow their business. We want to ask questions to uncover their equipment finance needs. How are our approvals determined? Generally speaking, we only want to finance businesses with at least 2 years of operating history and have a good credit history. That's all you need to know. The hiring process. We don't care if someone else gave up on you, this is a new chance, a clean slate, a fresh start, but you need to put your best foot forward and really apply yourself. We want you to have some skin in the game. As we say, show us that you're really interested in working with us. We're a boutique company looking for the best people out there. You can start working with us, however, you'll need to prove to us that you're dedicated and you can do the job. It's a numbers game. If you can, master an introductory pitch so it sounds as smooth as possible. Identify when someone is interested. Have a smooth transition to get your team leader to take over the call. You'll also need a computer that is virus-free and in good operating condition, a stable and reliable internet condition, and a computer headset. We'll install our soft phone on your computer remotely and you'll utilize our CRM system via the Chrome web browser. If you can demonstrate your capability of doing this, along with understanding who we are, what we do, what your role is, then you're almost hired. Okay, this video is going to show you our system to get you familiar with what you'll be doing on your first day working.
Now from the Quality Assurance and Sales Support Department. Welcome to the CRM Training and Dispositions tutorial. So this is the first screen we are going to see once we enter our username and our password on the CRM. And basically from right here is from where we start to make our calls. How to make a call? Just simply click right here and the call will start dialing. The CRM will start dialing the call. Now, if you're not able to see a lead like this one, which it's giving us a lead ID here and basic information about the company we're going to call, just simply click on menu and you click dialer, and with that you will get a lead on your system. Now, we basically have information for a business to start our cold calling, and on this particular example we actually have a website for this company. If you call Tiger Industries and you're able to gather, for example, an email address, and instead of typing the entire email address including the domain, you can actually just click this arrow here and it will send the automatic domain to this field next to it, so you can add just the first part and you don't need to type everything. Same thing by clicking here. If you have the receptionist email address, uh, because she doesn't provide you with the primary contact email address, whichever situation is, by clicking the arrow, you transfer the information. Now, if you're talking to Mary or you're talking to Peter or whoever you're talking to, if it's just a gatekeeper, you're able to change the sex here to know what kind of approach you want to do with your call. We also have different conversation openers uh, that we see here, like the weather. We also have local sports and local news for the area of Houston, Texas, for this lead. By clicking any of those any of those links, you're going to be able to get to the more detailed information and the complete news for that link. So that way you can break the ice, you can start your call approach away from the sales pitch, and basically either the gatekeeper or the merchant can start liking you, trusting you, so that way it doesn't feel that much as a sales call. Uh, Also, as a conversation opener, we have the UCC party section in this area. Well, the UCC party, UCC stands for Uniform Commercial Code, which is basically a record with the Secretary of State of Texas that is recording or letting us know that Tiger Industries did some previous financing with Advantage Business Capital. So right here is letting us know which financial entity they worked with before. As we can see here, we see 2012, the year when the UCC was filed. And this actually lets us know or start a conversation or even ask questions about what type of product they got, if they use capital, if they use equipment, so that way we can start getting to know the business more. We also, if Carl is no longer our main point of contact, my suggestion will be to erase it from the contact session and add it to our notes so we have the record that he was a previous contact name, but we also leave this area blank to add the new contact. Maybe now Peter Smith took over and he's the CEO, and our previous contact name, who was Carl, who now is no longer with the business, can we can have it there as a record once we save it, so that way we know the next time we're gonna ask for Peter, if that was the situation. It's just an example. Now, as we can see here, we have a website already for the business. We don't have an email either for the receptionist or the main point of contact. And sometimes by visiting the website, just by clicking at that button, we're able to scroll down and find information we were not expecting. Right here, I see an email. So we're going to paste the email here, which appears to be Carl's email. And we will save with this button right here. Now, if we want to send a message, an email, I mean, to Carl, we need to go to the Actions tab, select a template. We have generic templates as well as more special T/industry related emails that you need to look for if you want to send something more specific. But if you just want to send a generic email, you select whichever email you want to send. You add the name of your merchant, which is Carl. We're going to apply, so it appears here. And then we're going to select what email we're going to add, which is Carl's email. And we can play around with the subject line and add whichever we think it's gonna be better to try to get his attention, or for example add something more specific. Now, once we mark our subject line and we decide this is a proper email we want to send, we click on send, and the message will be sent to Carl. Now, going back to lead info tab, every time a call ends, it's important to add a note so we have a record of whatever happened on the call. Either if we spoke to a gatekeeper or if we spoke to a business owner, we need to disposition the call. To disposition a call, we're either going to select gatekeeper, uh, and we're going to know who the gatekeeper is just by the fact that only the identified people, like a CFO, a CEO, a manager, the president of the company, those will be our decision makers. So anyone who doesn't identify themselves as a decision maker will be a gatekeeper. Now we have once we select gatekeeper, which means we spoke to an unqualified party, right? Like a receptionist, we will select as many. We're gonna mark as many check boxes as they apply based on whatever happened on the call. So whichever happens on the call, like leaving a message with a gatekeeper, or leaving a voicemail after getting transferred to one, or sending an application because we gathered an email, we will mark as many as they apply. And once we mark, we save the changes and we will move on to the next lead. We also have the spoke to qualifying party, which is basically the same because you're gonna get a pop-up window with more options to as well select as many as they apply based on whatever happened on the call. Now, obviously, if you speak to a qualifying party, you want to make sure you leave your notes on the CRM so that way whomever gets the lead after you, if by any chance someone else gets it, by leaving a note, you're basically marking your territory and letting everybody else know that you're working on that particular lead. We also have two other options, which is phone problems or other, which again will mean both of those options, other or phone problems, will mean that you didn't have the opportunity to speak to anybody, but you will select whichever option applies to your call. Right here we have a main phone number for this particular lead, but if you click on the drop down menu on main phone, you're able to see if we have additional phone numbers for this company so you can try to reach the owner or the qualifying party. We can add a fax number here if you want to send a fax to your merchant. This based on the fact that your merchant doesn't have an email or doesn't want to be reached that via, you just add a fax number here and you let either your team leader know or me know with a lead ID number via iMessage that you want a fax to be sent, and we can send it for you. For that task, we will need not only the lead ID, but the template, the name of the template you want to send to your merchant, so that way we can do it for you. So, CRM has additional features like this mark right here, this check mark that is asking you if the business qualifies or not. This is basically a way you can mark a lead so it can go under your lead dashboard. That will be your pipeline, so you can follow up with that particular lead because you see there's an opportunity. And if you feel there's no opportunity or the business doesn't qualify, you can mark it like this. Now we also have the flag here to determine or define the language of the call. You can see that if it's either in Spanish or English. And since we also have a marketing campaign, which is that we send emails to all of our leads to try to provide them with information about our services. If the merchant specifies that they don't want to be reached that via, you can mark it like this with the envelope with the red mark, which means we're not going to reach them, or green if they're open to send to get that information sent via email. We also have this feature here because even we know Carl is the owner and he's our primary main point of contact. We can also add more people to our list of contacts. Maybe we have the CFO information by adding their work phone, right? So that way, and by adding it, you're going to be able to access or call it later on. Now, remember, we have information here that it's usually accurate. Again, if it's not accurate, you can erase it by um, by but by always putting a note about it. So if the company name changed, maybe instead of Inc., it's incorporated. It's okay to edit those fields, but always add notes to the CRM about your changes, so that way we have a record. Again, use the conversation openers like the weather, like the links to the news, local news. But the most important part will be that whenever you have a merchant on the line that has an interest or a need, when I'm talking about a need, I'm talking about having some working capital, equipment, and finance immediate need. And when I say interest, is that they are asking, buying questions, or they're interested in listening to whatever you're offering on the phone. The ideal situation will be that you transfer that call to your team leader so they can take over and basically build some rapport with that merchant, have a good conversation, plant that seed about our programs, and hopefully get an application, get a package so you can get your commissions, the deal can get approved, and finally a deal can be sold. So that way, this particular lead can move along the sale process. Well, thank you so much for your time. If you guys, once you start on the phone, have any questions, you can directly talk to me or iMessage me with any questions or doubts about how to disposition calls or what to do in any particular situation. Thank you.
Alright, you made it this far, you must really want to work with us, and we really appreciate the confidence you have in us, thank you. So you watched so far, how do you get started? To reiterate, before we hire you, you need to be competent in everything covered in these videos. If you don't feel confident, please go back to the particular video and review it, pause it, rewind it, play it again and again until you feel comfortable. As soon as you're ready, feel free to reach out to hire me at cardiffbank.com with an ideal day and time to do a Skype video conference interview. A trainer will briefly quiz you on everything covered in these videos. Thanks for watching.